Today we're doing a foot review on Echelon ER from Blatchford. Echelon ER is one of Blatchford's variations on their hydraulic ankle. So they have the basic variation, which is just Echelon. Then they have the Echelon ER, which stands for Extended Range. They have an Echelon with vacuum. They have an Echelon with vertical shock. And so a lot of different features there, that are specific for each foot that kind of give it a little bit of a difference compared to the other one. So for instance, Extended Range ER is giving me 25 degrees of movement at the ankle. And so really opening up that plantar and dorsiflexion so that you're feeling super comfortable on uneven terrain, hills and inclines, things like that. But then as you speed up walking on this foot, the ankle actually adapts and gives you less of that movement at the actual ankle joint, and you start to get more of the energy return out of this carbon spring of the foot. So it really does do a good job for a hydraulic ankle of giving good energy return at that toe off point for a higher activity user. Echelon ER is waterproof, so you can do whatever you want to do with water and not have to worry about anything. Again, I would always recommend that as soon as you're done in the water, you rinse it all off with fresh water and get it all clean and dry. Make sure if you're on the beach, there's no sand in your carbon, things like that. But again, this foot is fully waterproof. Echelon ER comes in sizes 22 to 30 centimeter with a weight of 1 pound 11 ounces. It comes in height variations of 142, 147, and 152 millimeter, depending on the size category of foot that you bought. Echelon ER has a 10 millimeter heel height. It can support a user up to 275 pounds and is reimbursable with codes L5981 and L5968. Some big benefits of this foot that we'll get into throughout our breakdown is that obviously having that 25 degrees of movement at the ankle really does create a lot of safe and comfortable positions on uneven terrain and on inclines. You also have a really nice, comfortable, relaxed sitting because that foot can sit flat and give you a good stable platform to stand up and sit down from. Now here looking at the settings of the foot, you have the plantar flexion on the right side and the dorsiflexion on the left side. So you want to do the plantar flexion first. This is just a 4 mil, and obviously I'm going to do this while I have it on, but then you're just adjusting this with the 4 mil rotating through there. And as you go, minus, you're going to have less resistance to foot flat. As you go plus, you're going to have more resistance to foot flat. And then same for dorsiflexion. Again, you want to do the plantar flexion side first and then the dorsiflexion side. So going to adjust my plantar and dorsi, first thing I'm going to do is just turn them all the way off to the minus just to show, and then we will work from there. So they're both set now all the way to the very far minus end, and you can see I'm really slamming at my heel. It's like a hard slam down to foot flat, and then same with rolling over. So again, we want to adjust our plantar flexion first. So that is this right side. And I'm going to turn it up to maybe about the middle between the plus and the minus. So now we're about halfway in there. Let's see the difference. Definitely a lot smoother. I'm not getting a hard slam of the foot flat anymore. That feels comfortable. Probably could add just a little bit more. So we're going to go, again, just a little more in the plus direction. Maybe an eighth of a turn there. Nice. Now that feels comfortable. Feels like I'm getting good foot flat, but it's not slamming. It's natural with my sound limb. Okay, now let's do dorsiflexion. So again, we're at 0 there, so I'm going to go probably about halfway again and just see how that feels to me. Pretty good. I feel like it's a little bit tougher to feel the dorsiflexion. So I'm going to go extreme and go, where'd my wrench go? There it is. I'm going to go all the way up to the plus. And now you can see like that's not comfortable for me. I'm not really getting to that plantar point because the foot is just staying dorsiflexed on me to some extent. So let's go back down. About a quarter turn there. Now that feels like I'm getting a smooth transition from heel strike to mid stance to my rollover. The foot is staying a little bit dorsiflexed so that I'm getting that clearance Again, when you align this foot, you do want to align it just a little bit more dorsiflex here. So I am more dorsiflex so that I'm bringing that toe up just a little bit so that when I am clearing through those things, especially with the KX07, getting that shorter clearance height, now with the Echelon ER, I'm getting more clearance because the foot and toe are lifting as I'm swinging through and giving me that good clearance. Starting up this incline is where you can really start to see how much dorsiflexion and plantar flexion you get out of this foot. I'm really, again, walking on the KX07. So I am striding up this slight incline without really having to do much adaptation to my hip to get clearance or anything like that. And so it makes it for a really smooth, comfortable, easy stride as I go up this incline. That's saying something for this type of setup, that it does still feel comfortable and like I don't have to do a lot of extra work to go up this incline. And then for coming down, you can see it again out of the foot. I'm not really even yielding the knee. I'm keeping it fully extended as I come down this ramp, and I'm really just using the ankle to roll over into my next step. And so as we slow it down, you see that like the knee's not yielding at all. I'm just kind of really relying on the hydraulics of the ankle, which is pretty cool as well. And so nice, comfortable on those inclines on smooth, flat surfaces for sure. Stairs, just going up one step at a time, because KX07 doesn't go up stair step over step, but you can still see how much the ankle does really kind of allow me to roll over a little bit and get really smooth and comfortable going up. And then same with coming down. I don't go down descending one at a time at first, just to show how much movement you get out of the ankle so that you can feel comfortable even if you're going down just one at a time, and then eventually yielding. And now we're into relaxed sitting, where yeah, you have to adjust the ankle a little bit manually by pushing on it with your other foot or pulling it back and pushing your weight into it. But you can see like that I sit really comfortable and feel really comfortable. And with the KX07, my knees are really symmetric, my feet can be symmetric. I like it a lot. If you check out my KX07 review, I go into a little bit of the sitting on like sitting up a little bit and being more symmetric like that, and so really comfortable there. Now we're on to uneven terrain, and just wanted to again show how much clearance you are getting out of the foot because of 1, the alignment, 2, the knee, and 3, the hydraulic ankle. And so you're really getting a ton of clearance. So I am stepping over things comfortably, and here is where we're just walking again on just a little bit of uneven terrain. I'm still getting a lot of good like ML stability out of the foot, and so it's feeling comfortable side to side and really stable. Again, especially with this knee, which I have set up a little bit, behind knee center to make it a little bit easier to trigger, which is nice and comfortable to get it to trigger, but then it's a little bit more unstable. So the foot really helps me kind of counteract that and still feel stable while also being able to get that knee to trigger. So that's Echelon ER. It was a fun foot to demo, especially because I am usually on these high spring carbon feet. And so to get something like this that does give me the relaxed sitting and the comfort on inclines, but then when I speed up, I still am getting some of that energy return because of the design of this foot. It does create something dynamic that I typically wouldn't use, but have thought about using more often now because of trialing this. I have tried a lot of hydraulic ankles, and usually I stay away from those. Just because as an AK and high activity AK, they tend to take some energy away from me. And so I can get by with not having that foot flat and everything else, as long as I'm getting that energy out of the toe. But again, this foot does a good job of that. So as a pro, I would put that you do get solid energy out of the foot still, and you're also getting a lot of comfort when you're on that uneven terrain. Another pro is that it's waterproof, so you really don't have to worry about doing damage with it when you're out having fun with the family or with the friends and don't want to think about that. I also do really like the relaxed sitting. It's nice to just from a mental state, like a mental emotional state, to look down and see your feet be that symmetrical. And with the KX07, check out my KX07 review. It is really nice with the polycentric design of the KX07, and then the movement, the 25 degrees of movement that you get out of the ankle. You really can sit more naturally with the setup I've used in this video than probably on anything else I've ever worn. Some cons are, again, that you're going to be dealing with some of that extra weight because you've got this hydraulic module on top of the foot. But overall, a pretty cool foot. I think that it's really designed for somebody that is a high activity K3 user. and is hiking on uneven terrain all of the time and wants to feel that stable and comfort, but also doesn't want to sacrifice a ton of that energy loss and is okay with the weight trade-off. If you would like more information on Echelon ER or the other Echelon products that Blatchford has in their catalog, check out their website. If you have any questions for me and my experience on Echelon ER, on KX07, feel free to put them in the comments. I would love to get back to you. Check out that KX07 video and watch for more reviews coming in the future. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Thank you.